Hey family, welcome to another edition of Who is Dr. Mumbi. I love to do these because I think there's so many questions I get from you guys. You're almost over curious, nosy. But don't worry, I suffer from the same situation. But we get so many questions every single day about, am I single? Am I married? Who am I married to? Do I have children? What's my net worth? I love it. And every year, now it's become a yearly thing. I had really thought I would do these like almost monthly, but I was just like, man, focus on the awakening, not on my story. My story doesn't matter. But anyway, we've picked the 7. Well, I had my team pick the 7 most common questions that they see, floating around, being asked by you guys. And we're going to go ahead and answer them. I wonder what you guys are curious about. I know the one. In fact, I wonder if it's this one. I can't make this up. Are you single? How does my singleness help your life? Like, I see that question so many times from our very beautiful African brothers and sisters, and I'm always like, so if I'm single, are you gonna come, get me from wherever you are, from Jamaica or from, Nigeria? What's the deal? But really, yes, I am single, and there's a reason I'm single, because, when I started this awakening process, I'm just gonna go deep for you guys, just in case my testimony helps somebody. But when I started this awakening process, I realized that, I started, it was really, I had reached like rock bottom. Have you ever hit rock bottom and nothing is working? It's almost like your mind is, working against you and you're just in this perpetual hamster wheel. And I looked at the decisions I'd made in terms of the people who, the men I got involved with, et cetera, et cetera. And I realized that at every stage of my awakening, I would never meet that dream divine person, divine mate, soulmate, whatever you want to call them, twin flame, as some call them. But I would always I would always have a relationship which would be where I'm at, which would help me deal with the issues, which would literally be a mirror to who I was. And, sometimes you're so broken. So when you attract a fellow broken person, ooh, it can be extremely, extremely painful. And I just realized at that point that it was time for me to be single and to really work on improving myself and kind of clearing out my baggage, clearing out my pain, clearing out my trauma, so that I stopped attracting that same trauma in others, and particularly in my most intimate relationships, and also so that I didn't transfer that to my children. So I've been single for about 3-4 years, very happily single. I've been working on my own, on myself, on my spirit, and I'm realizing now that just the people I'm interacting with, the kind of kings that are coming into my orbit, are on a whole other level. And probably if they had met me even a year ago or 2 years ago, we were on totally different frequencies. They probably wouldn't have recognized who I was. But I'm not going to make every question this long. But long story short, I really do, in my opinion, because I do believe we're here for a reason. We're here on an assignment, especially the global African nation, because we've been sent here to fulfill the desires of our ancestors. And so I really do believe that how do I put this in the way that will make sense? That we have destiny mates, and we have, people who we have assignments with, we have spiritual assignments with, who are our divine partner. And knowing that I'm here for a very particular reason, I know that there is no way I would have spiritually planned this destiny for myself without taking care of that part. So I look forward to meeting my, destiny mate, soulmate, divine partner. And you know what? You guys are right here, so you'll probably hear all about it. Okay, let me get to the next one. I said that was so long. I'm just like, here? Okay. What happened to prophetic Sundays? Yeah, this is a question I've been getting a lot, especially from my African sisters. I think because women tend to be, someone told me this, a very wise man called Edison. He was like, women, we're futuristic, we're solution oriented. So as much as we like to hear about what's going on, we always like to, first of all, see ourselves in the story and kind of have a solution or a future kind of outcome, And I think that's what prophetic Sundays, a lot of people found that But the reason I stopped is because I had an epiphany that, the creator is you. We're told that the most high creator is in us, God is in us. Have you ever sat down and thought about what that really means, and really what that translates into for you where you are right now? And so as I was doing prophetic Sundays and I'd interact with so many people who would tell me I had the same dream, I had the same vision, people would write to me. I realized that we're all prophets, we're all seers, we're all, we have that God creator in us, so we can say that we are a creator, a form of a creator. Is there an ultimate creator? Are there other creators? Most definitely. But I went beyond the prophecy, because you need to clear yourself up to the point where you see. And don't forget, especially if you're a Bible believer, the scriptures say that in the end of days, in the end of time, because we're entering this artificial matrix time, that's what's happening, that there would be, sons and daughters would be prophets and would prophesy. So you are supposed to have the capacity to see, and that's why I stopped doing prophetic Sundays. Okay, let's see what's next. Do you hate white people? No, come on. I'm not against white people. I'm for black people. And I don't understand why, when you start talking for Africa and you start talking for the liberation of your people, all of a sudden other people think you hate them. I have very close comrades, because I do recognize that every race right now is fighting for its survival into this new golden age that we're going to, is hoping they make it through this judgment season. There's a judgment gate between where we are and where we're going, and they call it, they've called it Armageddon, judgment, the day of judgment, where everyone will be judged. We're being judged right now, and I realize that it's a global oppressive system. And when I say white people, what I mean is that the globalist brotherhood, yes, and the majority of Caucasians who sit aside and benefit from the colonial and neo-colonial exploitation of their governments and of their corporations, and do nothing about it. Now, I am sensitive enough to realize that you were the guinea pigs first. Before they brought the systems of slavery and the systems of colonialism to Africa, they had practiced it on the Irish and the Scottish, for the British Empire, for example. And I do realize that you have become the most oppressed. You are literally declining now, and it's because of your governments. How wicked that you would make your own people population decline, but I think for us as a collective, and I can speak for Africa very confidently on this, our problem is when we see white people as the quote unquote common oppressor, it's because of those who have said nothing for so long. And I think it was Hitler who said, either Hitler or Churchill or one of those, right, who said that the most dangerous people are not the Hitlers of this world or the Mussolinis of this world, but they are the millions, the majority, who sit aside in silence and do nothing. And that's my issue. But I don't hate white people. I have white friends, and there's no beef there, but I'm for Africans. I hope that made sense. I hope guys, because I know black supremacists, come on. Really? We don't have to call ourselves supreme because we've always been supreme. Get me? Okay. What's your stand on spirituality? Are you now a follower of New Age religion? I've been seeing a lot of this question on my new Wake Up Africa series. And you know what? I'm not really going to answer that question. I think for me, I've told you from the beginning, when I was an evangelical prophet, I've told you from the beginning that what I am looking for in any religion or spiritual practice that I take on, what I'm looking for is power. I'm not looking for belief. I'm not looking for faith. I'm looking for power, and I'm looking for righteous power, because we're here to set things right. I'm not looking to have to sacrifice a couple of children so that I can become president or whatever. That's not my path. My path is, how do I operate in righteous power so I can reset this game and reset this program in my own mind and in the collective African mind. And so it's beyond that. It's beyond, are you spiritual, are you new age, to are you operating in power? The day you ask me, Dr. Mumbi, are you operating in power or not? Is that connected to your spirituality? Then we'll be having a real conversation. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back, guys, to Who is Dr. Mumbi? Another episode. Thank you so much to all the viewers. Thanks to all the debates that go on the channel, and to just everyone who has been really praying for us. I get so many people who say they're praying for us. They've been led to pray for us. They've been led to fast for us. And that is the most humbling thing of all. Also, those who say that, they see us as ambassadors of the continent, and what that what responsibility that comes with. I really appreciate all that. I really, really do. And I just believe that we must awaken. There is no choice. And this time is running out, and the new time is ours. So how are we going to define it? Because we cannot repeat this cycle. You dig? So now I've been doing Who's Dr. Mumbi, where I answer your most common questions. And I usually take about 7. 7's my, can I call it lucky number? Will you guys call me all who? Spooky? But anyway, 7's my lucky number. So I always pick 7 questions. What next for the Dr. Mumbi show? Oh, interesting. So, we're really feeling led by the Spirit to move deeper into this Wake Up Africa movement. It was amazing last year to come to the US and to meet so many of our African brothers and sisters, and to kind of see the gaps and the needs in building these bridges, because it's global Africa that must awaken and unite. We all need each other. So I think the next steps for Dr. Mumbi show is basically to add meat to this Wake Up Africa movement. So many of you reach out to me saying you want to invest in businesses here, you want to partner with different people in your industries, etc. And we've been looking at ways to really make that possible, and to create the kind of meetings and conferences where we could all meet in Dar es Salaam, for example, and look at the investment opportunities there, and meet different investment clubs internationally, because I know a lot of different Africans internationally are actually pooling their money together, and they're starting to send scouts out to Africa to kind of see what they could invest in, what they could do, what the legalities are. So I think that's just next, because the awakening is real, the unification is real, and we're just so honored and just so grateful to be playing this role. Maybe one day we'll be the Oprah of Africa. Who knows? Now, okay, 2 more questions to go, guys. I need to make this fast. It's going so long. What's your stand on wearing jewelry and makeup? Okay, my grandmama wore makeup, my great grandmama wore makeup. Maybe it didn't look like this makeup, but it was makeup. So I'm like, do whatever you want to do. I know some people say, the Marines goddesses put all kinds of things in the makeup that make women seductive, etc., etc. I just say, do you? And you should rise above all these petty consciousnesses and petty narratives to the point where you're good. Now, the only thing I have a problem with is human hair on your head, because human hair is living. It still has the DNA of the people that passed. It still has the energy and the frequency of the people that passed. And you're putting it on your crown chakra. Like, this is the most sensitive part of your body. Like, this is where all the information is downloaded, and it's like your connection, and when you put someone else's hair there, it can create a lot of craziness and madness and crazy desires that are not your own. So that's my only thing. Plastic hair, go ahead. I mean, I have plastic hair on right now, but makeup, I'll do whatever. Now, I also believe in the power of stones, and people may say, oh, that's new agey, that's crystal. So I'll ask you, why is it that the priests in the Old Testament actually had a breastplate plate that had all the 12 precious stones. I mean, if you still believe in the Bible, because those are the ones who usually ask these kind of questions. What does it mean? So I usually wear an amethyst because each stone has its thing, you know, and they're all found in Africa. Like this is an amethyst from Zambia. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it you know, I've worn amethyst since I don't know, since I was very young, and I feel it helps with spiritual clarity and, you know, protection from psychic attacks, etc., etc. So the next time a preacher or a pastor tells you crystals are, you know, weird, go ahead and ask them, so why did the priests of old have diamonds and amethysts and rubies and emeralds and this entire elaborate breastplate? What were those crystals for? And you know, a lot of the ancient knowledge and ancient powers of back in the day actually came from crystals. Crystal healing, all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get too into that. I don't want to lose people. Maybe I'll start talking about it one day as I'm led. Okay, last question. Oh wow, prophetic word for the global African nation for 2019 and beyond. It's so funny that I would end with that. Wow, okay. As I always said, we are all prophets, so we should be feeling what's happening. The awakening is real. It's happening. It cannot be stopped because it's happening in the hearts of every single person. It is just going to gain momentum. That's all that's going to happen. It's going to gain more and more and more and more momentum. More of us are going to awaken until we hit a tipping point. And when that tipping point is hit, in a twinkle of an eye, things will shift. So prepare your hearts, prepare your minds, deal with your issues, because we need you as Global Africa. Mwah.